All right, so we got the last couple pieces in for the Hand of the Emperor Master Chassis. So I figured I'd just give you guys a quick rundown on how it goes together, what the design looks like, and how it fits in the hilt. So without further ado, here are all the parts. I've got a battery here just to explain how that works. So you've got your main sled here. The battery section goes here, speaker down here, and then there is an emitter sled, which attaches with a metal piece in between. I'll show you that in a moment. Profi goes under here. I have this glued in because the prototype legs were too short, so I've adjusted that for the final. But it's a magnetic cover, and these legs will actually stick underneath this plastic here, which will keep it retained, so it can't fall out. But on this one, it's glued. And then we have several decorative pieces. So we have one that goes on behind the battery. Got some pipes and stuff behind on the sides. And then one that goes over the battery. We have our crystal chamber, which is meant to be oriented like this. Open in the back so you can illuminate with LEDs behind, but it also has slots in the top and the bottom for Cantina 4 pixel PCBs. We have our speaker sleeve, emitter section sleeve, and what I'm calling the plasma gate, which is just a decorative piece meant to go in the emitter section, and it also has a spot for the pixel PCB. This one is designed for a standard Adafruit pixel though, and you can print a resin insert for this as well that will allow this to illuminate. So the way this all goes together, oh, and then of course the Profi cover, which is also metal. But the way this all goes together, we'll start with the plate that goes behind the battery. So this will be oriented one direction, pops in here. So what we'll do is you hook one side from here. There's a little lip, and then the other side, it will just give a little bit of pressure, and it'll pop up over there, and it's just hooked on there with a little lip on each side. You can kind of push this plastic down into the lip, make sure that it sits securely. Then we have the battery cover. So this is actually designed to work with the battery, so you can't put the battery in and then put this over top because of the shape. I mean, you could, but it's a little bit tight. So what this is meant to do is you slide the battery in like so. So that's secure. The battery won't come out of there. And then that pops in here. And there's a couple grooves here, up here, and these ones down here. Those line up, and then it just clicks into place. And then to secure that down, we have our speaker sleeve. And there are grooves here on the sides, a little bit hard to see, but they line up with these little nubs on the side of the speaker bit. You slide it in around this little bump here. It's tight fit, so you slide it on, and then there's a twist, and it pops behind there. And that also covers the little legs coming off of this piece, so that this can't then come out from the bottom. It can only come out from the top. Then we have our crystal chamber, which sits right here. So we pop that on like that. There's a little bit of tension, but not much. It just pops on like so. We have our plasma gate, which has legs. These ones are shorter. The final one, I've made these quite a bit longer to increase stability, and I've made these guys both longer and wider. So it should be a lot more stable in the final one. With the prototype, pops in like that. The legs will stick down into the crystal chamber here. And back here as well, they stick into the plastic all the way to this metal on the final one. Then we have the emitter sled, so this is what holds your switches, your blinkies for the externally visible LEDs on the hilt. And you want to make sure that you line up the holes properly, so it'll only go one way. Make sure we get that right, yeah. And then just pop it down. It sits right on those legs from the plasma gate. Nice little visible bit here and here on the other side. And then lastly is the emitter sleeve. And so if you look on the back here, there is an indent there, which lines up with that longest leg on this. So you want to line those up and might have to squeeze this a little bit. These really thin round pieces can sometimes become more oblong due to pressure from handling. So you might have to squeeze it just a little bit, just a tiny bit of pressure to get it to shape, and then slide it down on until it's snug in its slot, like so. And that's the whole chassis all together.